Hi, I would like to share with you a bit of scripture from book of Second Chronicles. It's chapter 10. This is talking about King Rehoboam, who is the he's, son of King Solomon, and he's also King David's grandson. I mean, this is when King Rehoboam was made king of Judah and Israel. Um, Anyway, starting with verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for to Shechem were all Israel come to make him king. And it came to pass when Rehoboam the son of Nebat, who was in Egypt, whither he had fled from the presence of Solomon the king, heard it, that Jeroboam returned out of Egypt. And he sent and called him. So Jeroboam and all Israel came and spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Your father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore easy somewhat the grievous servitude of your father, and his heavy yoke that he put upon us, and we will serve you. And he said unto them, Come again unto me after 3 days. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam took counsel of the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, saying, What counsel give ye me to return answer to this people? And he spoke unto him, saying, If you be kind to this people, and please them, and speak good words to them, they'll be your servants forever. But he forsook the counsel which the old man gave him, and took counsel of the young men that were brought up with him that stood before him. And he said unto them, What advice give you that we may return answer to this people which have spoken to me, saying, Eat somewhat the yoke that your father did put upon us? And the young men that were brought up with him spoke unto him, saying, Thus shall ye answer the people that spoke unto you, saying, Your father made our yoke heavy, but make you it somewhat lighter for us. Thus shall you say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. For whereas my father put a heavy yoke upon you, I will put more to your yoke. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam on the third day, as the king bade, saying, Come again to me on the third day. And the king answered them roughly, and King Rehoboam forsook the counsel of the old men. And he answered them, saying, and he answered them after the advice of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, but I'll add thereto. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. So the king hearkened not unto the people, for this cause was of God, that the Lord might perform his word which he spoke by the hand of Ahijah the Shilonite to Jeroboam the son of Nebat. And when all Israel saw that the king would not hearken unto them, the people answered the king, saying, What portion have we in David? And we have none inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to your tents, O Israel, and now, David, see to your own house. So all Israel went to their tents. But as for the children of Israel that dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. Then King Rehoboam sent Hadaram, that was over the tribute, and the children of Israel stoned him with stones that he died. But King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem, and Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. Now, now those scriptures right there talking about the um, the tribes of Israel coming to Rehoboam to make a plea for him to to ease the yoke that their father Solomon had put upon them in most likely in the later years of his life when he turned turned to idolatry because of his multiple marriages to foreign women, and said, ease somewhat the yoke that your father put upon us, and we'll serve you. And Rehoboam told him, Come again to me 3 days, and then he asked his father's advisors, the old men who stood before King Solomon, asked them for their advice and say, if you will speak good words unto them and do what they say, they'll be your servants forever. But Rehoboam forsook their counsel and ended up um, asking the counsel of the young men that stood before him, and basically saw King Solomon in his later years, and asked for their advice, and is saying, "You're for, you're for, tell them that what you what burden my father put upon you, I'll add thereto. And if you think my father's punishments are bad enough, wait until you get a load of my punishments for defying me." And that's what King Rehoboam spoke uh, unto the children of Israel, basically for forsaking the advice of the elders, and making things worse, and causing the northern tribes of Israel to rebel against King Rehoboam, and splitting the kingdom be, between the northern tribes of Israel and the southern tribe of Judah. And basically, the lesson we can learn right there is be careful where you get your advice from. I mean, I mean, the elders that stood with King Solomon knew. I mean, knew what Solomon had done, in his later years, and basically advised Rehoboam to take it easy, and there were most likely godly men that that, that knew what King Solomon ought to do, and and King Rehoboam ignored them and settled for what the young men who grew up with him would say, and that kind of bad advice cost him the kingdom. Ended up being the the last king of the united Israel, and kingdom broke off into two kingdoms right there. So be careful of the advice that that you ask for and are given. Make sure it comes from godly counsel. If you want counsel that comes from God. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to share with you this morning. So have a good day, and God bless you.